to qualify.
That's right, sweeping as we go into another matchup here. KK versus Sandbox. KK has game number 1.
Wow, this is a great push on this right-hand side. Huge drill bridge fan push. Mighty Miner does get that bomb down to help out a bit, but with this cannon cart looking so healthy, Barbell does clean it up, but this cannon cart, like I said, very healthy, gonna be tanking for this drill. Those goblins are doing a lot of damage right now.
Yeah, you see there just a little bit coming in there. A few stabs into 1847, 2438, the lowest tower here for Sandbox.
Yeah, KK going with the Mighty Miner in the back, activating that 3-card cycle, and going for this RG in the other lane. He wants to maybe prevent those huge pushes that we just saw, which makes a lot of sense. He was helping clean up everything, kind of helping stun everything on both sides. Hunter at the bridge here, trying to take that out. Magic Archer to take the Hunter out, but then Fireball cleans that up. We are in triple elixir now. There is another nice drill push on this right-hand side for Sandbox. Going at the Golden Knight at the bridge as well. Is KK going to be able to stop this charge?
Oh!
No! Mighty Miner placed directly at the bridge, but it's not enough to stop it. Golden Knight.
Yeah, Barbarian, I think, was close enough from KK that chains it to the tower. Now 489 remains as we see KK come down with an RG. NATO going to pull it back, and it's just not going to be enough. 30 seconds remaining here, and it feels like we're going to be going on to game number 3. Great plays there from Sandbox in a deck that we haven't seen quite as much in the competitive scene over the last few weeks, but still very, very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. That Gold Knight nerf definitely was a big hit to this deck. This deck does rely a lot on those Gold Knight connections, but the nerf was HP based only. As we can see here, that dash is still as lucrative as ever. Huge value connecting the tower, getting enough damage to clutch up this victory.
Yeah, great game number 2 there from Sandbox. Now we can take a look here at the decks that they've used so far. It's going to be a very quick look, but a look still at that. So we see KK, no Fireball, no Bar Barrel, no arrows, no mirror. Other side of it, Sandbox, no Log, no NATO, no Earthquake. And Fire Spirit and Skelly's out. Still has the Skelly King available and the Mighty Miner. We'll see which one he wants to go with, or if he decides to opt out here in game number 3. Whoever wins this, also qualifying for World Finals.
Looks like Giant Skeletons are out for both players as well. Bats and Snowball on defense from Sandbox versus Hog. Really, really solid. Already, just looking at the Snowball. Snowball actually one of the best Hog counters in the game. I think Sandbox got to be feeling pretty good about that. KK missing this Valk on the Miner here, and Sandbox getting a little bit of chip damage. I think if Sandbox defends well, he should win, but you know, with this Queen, with the 3-card cycle, you never know what can happen. We saw in a match versus with Air Surfer, huge comebacks are always possible when you got the Queen plus Hog EQ.
Yeah, it looks like, what, Mortar here from Sandbox?
Yep, absolutely. Huge counter push.
Go into the back. Yeah, this is a great counter push. Not a lot of elixir to deal with it. Nice Ice Spirit plus Cannon here, and I think in terms of defenses, that's about as good as it can get. But a better Snowball out of Sandbox there to get a couple Musketeer shots in. A brilliant heads-up play.
I'm always fascinated by how quick these players are with their Snowballs. Snowball is just one of those cards. It just does a nice job of slowing everything down. It's almost like a mini freeze. You can kind of get some nice connections, some sneaky connections, and 2 Musketeer shots on the right-hand side is definitely a big deal in a kind of quick cycle matchup like this.
Yeah, 100%. I think earlier we saw, Morton get like 30 Dart Goblin shots in with a perfectly timed Snowball. So one of the cards in the game that I think is under-celebrated by a lot of people in mid-ladder and at the lower tiers, but still, especially when you talk about dual mode and competitive, Snowball is a very, very good card when used correctly.
Absolutely. I think that, like you said, I think Log is generally the small spell of choice in a lot of matchups. But with the duels formatting, Snowball definitely sneaking in here a couple times, and it's always nice to see some good plays. And we are heading into double elixir here. Both towers gotten down to 2 HP for KK there, or sorry, 2k HP. And then Sandbox's towers, though, looking really healthy. Mortar the bridge with this Musketeer. See how KK defends this.
Yeah, and he goes up 1 tile there on the Mortar. Not a big deal. Poison comes down to help deal with both of these.
Yeah, I think I think the other thing about this matchup is the spell damages. A lot of the time when you're in a quick cycle matchup like this where you can defend each other very well, spell damage does matter quite a bit. And that poison, obviously doing a lot of damage for 4 elixir spells, definitely going to be a lot more than the Earthquake can do.
And you can see KK he continues to make sure that Sandbox cannot play that skeleton army in response to the Hog Rider, sending in a log behind or an Earthquake in front, whatever it may be. And we'll see when Sandbox is able to get that Skarmy back down to defend as the Skeleton King gets cleaned up there by the Archer Queen. Hog Rider needs a little bit more attention. Bats will do it. And now a second Hog Rider comes down. Now we see the Skarmy. Log has to come in. There it is. Perfect play on both sides.
Yeah, that was really, really smart. I think KK needed to delay a little bit more and have a little bit quicker pre-log there. I don't think he had enough elixir to go for the pre-log right away. So that's why that Hog just not able to connect. Sandbox did go for that snowball just to make sure, which was really smart. Almost into triple elixir now, 20 seconds. This match, I feel like could go either way. All it takes for KK to win this is just one mistake, one Hog connection. But if Sandbox can play well enough and prevent that from happening, I think he will take this win.
Yeah, nice miner to come out last second there for Sandbox to defend. And Sandbox making a case for the reverse sweep here, maybe a high mortar. There it is, high mortar up high as those skeletons pile up on that left-hand tower. 1242 to 1854. Winner of this game goes to World Finals. Only 45 seconds remain. Sandbox up by a lot. Nice miner plus snowball coming in.
So much ship damage to his left-hand side. It's really important to note that the Skeleton King ability was able to do so much on that left-hand side as well in that last push. And we got 2 Hog Riders coming in with this Queen 3-card cycle. But look at this defense.
Just
so surgical.
Not enough. Yeah, I mean, those Musketeers doing so much single-target DPS. You have the snowball there if you need it. You can play the Skarmy late. Got the mortar to come back around. There's just so many great options here for Sandbox.
Yeah, I think if Sandbox, let's do a brainstorm. If Sandbox did have the log instead of snowball in this match, I feel like there's so many times where that Hog Rider might have been able to sneak in a hit. But
yeah,
like I said, snowball just one of the best counters to the Hog. Like basically any card plus snowball can defend a Hog for 0 hits most of the time.
KK still alive on the day, but the real story is Sandbox moves on to our World Finals. Great plays there from him.